My name is Jeff Clark, and it is my privilege to serve as principal here at Piqua Junior High School. We are here tonight to honor the vast academic achievements of our student body. The students being honored tonight have given a consistently stellar effort in their studies. Their accomplishments are outstanding, and I want to congratulate them. Family members, I want to recognize you as well for your efforts in supporting these young people in their endeavors. At this time, I want to explain the process, how we're going to go through this evening. So students, you know how we're doing this. Parents, so you're aware of what we're doing. We will go through teacher by teacher and recognize each teacher's top students. We will ask them to come as I read the names. Please hold your applause till we get all students from each teacher up on the stage. And then we will congregate them together for a picture from Mrs. Barhorst for our yearbook. So please allow us to do that. I ask that you stay in your seats, not come forward to take pictures. We'll try to get as many pictures as we can for our yearbook and for other purposes. And then we will move on to the next teacher and the next award. So we'll try to move along as quickly and efficiently as we can. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and get started with our first teacher. I'm going to ask Mrs. Heron to come forward. And we're going to start with the top art students. Mrs. Heron's top art students for this year are Reagan Toops, Grace Heckerman, Ashley Murphy. You guys start coming forward. Samantha Caton, Camilla Nicholas, Chloe Stewart, Xander Jones, Blake Harvey, Madeline Fisher, and Mrs. Heron's top student for this school year, Carolina Polakowski. Those are our art students. This time we're going to ask Mrs. Fair to come forward for our choir awards. I will announce both the 7th grade and the 8th grade top students in choir for this year. And then if both of you would come forward and receive your plaques and stand with Mrs. Fair for a picture. Mrs. Fair's top student in 7th grade choir this year, Kirsten Shaneyfeld. And the top choir student in 8th grade for Mrs. Fair, Joshua Cruzy. We are going to recognize our top students in 7th grade STEM class. Mr. Stamper could not be here tonight, so Mr. Cope is going to come forward and help me recognize those students. 7th grade STEM top students for this school year are Matthew Weiser, William Ratliff, Alana Garner, Logan Tucker, Brielle Penley, Jordan Atkins, Andrew Holmes, Cadence Wall, Haley Benson, and the 7th grade STEM top student for this school year is Savannah Swanson. Great. That's our 7th grade section. Next, we will recognize Mr. Coates, 8th grade, STEM 2, top students for this school year. Mr. Coates' top students are Ray Toots, Braden Offenbacher, Kenzie Anderson, Xander Jones, Riley Weaver, Elise Cox, Andrew Holbein, Aiden Meyer, Maya Albert, and Mr. Coates' top student for this school year, Kevin Wiles. Great job. At this time, I'm going to invite Mrs. Fair back up. Mr. Mahaney and Mr. Flippo could not make it tonight to hand out the band awards, so Mrs. Fair has agreed to help me with that. Seventh grade, most improved, and we'll go through, there are 2 for each grade. We'll go through all 4 of these, bring all of you up, and then we'll go ahead and get our picture. 7th grade, band, most improved, Tristan Boki. 7th grade, outstanding band member, Philip Rossman. 8th grade band, most improved, Casey Lawson. And 8th grade outstanding band member, Isabella Reyes. Great job. Next, we have Mrs. Ellis. We will do, Mrs. Ellis has both students in both English Language Arts and in math, so we'll bring them all up together. We'll recognize Mrs. Ellis' 7th graders at this time, 7th grade, English Language Arts. Her top 2 students are Aaron Waters, and her top student in 7th grade Language Arts is Michelle Swartz. And in 7th grade math for Mrs. Ellis, top students are Sebastian Bedelon, and her top student in 7th grade math is Elias De La Sancha. This time I'm going to invite Mrs. Ford forward for her 7th grade English Language Arts top student. Mrs. Ford's top students for this year are Melissa Fleck, Braden Joyce, Brianna Finthrop, Aubriana Davis, Tarika Sutter, Anaya Taylor-Smith, and Mrs. Ford's top student in her class for this year, Caitlin Brown. Great job. Next up, we have Mrs. Walters. Mrs. Walters teaches 2 different courses for us in 7th grade language arts. She teaches 7th grade ELA and also advanced 7th grade ELA. So we're going to call all those students up together. She will have a top student in each of those courses. Her top students for her 2 classes are Kirk Robbins, Carson Mexstraw, Lainey McMacken, Allison Drzwicki, Nathaniel Richard, Jacob Chen, Marissa Bragg, Ryan Brown, and Mrs. Walter's top student in 7th grade ELA is Dion Eichelberger, and her top student in 7th grade advanced ELA is Breeze Carey. Miss Meese will be coming up next with her 7th grade ELA top students. Miss Meese's top students are Kylie Cremines, Landon Lawson, Faith Studebaker, Leanne Casey, Jana Wagner, Seth Kaiser, and Miss Meese's top student for this school year, Jordan Atkins. Mrs. Butt's top students are Savannah Swanson, Matthew Weiser, Kelsey Erick, Zachary Haney, Zoe Leisure, Kirsten Schoenfeld, Braden Soliday, Haley Tyson, Reagan Howard, and Mrs. Butt's top student for this school year is Savannah Cox. English language arts for us, so I'm going to call all of her students together. Her top student in 7th grade English language arts is Destiny Baker. Destiny, just stay up here, we'll bring the 8th graders up as well. Mrs. Williams' top 8th grade students are Jalissa Henderson, Tommy Confroy, and her top student for 8th grade language arts for this school year is Mackenzie Stage. Language Arts. So we will be calling all of her students up together and her top students in each of those classes at the end. Ms. DeBella's top students this school year are Grace Pleasant, Hannah Pleasant, Kinsey Anderson, Jacob Ward, Maya Albert, Jackson Elliott, Bailey Jenkins, Amanda Napier. Ms. DeBella's top student in 8th grade Accelerated English Language Arts is Lauren Hicks. And Ms. DeBella's top student in 8th grade Advanced English Language Arts is Reagan Slum. Next, we have Mrs. Butler's 8th grade English Language Arts top students. Mrs. Butler's top students are Maxwell King, Evan Hensler, Andrew Holbein, Desiree Warner, Kyra Burton, Destiny Warner, Caitlin Radcliffe, and Mrs. Butler's top student for this school year is Trinity Messer. Great job. Next we have Mrs. Hewitt. Mrs. Hewitt teaches 8th grade Accelerated English Language Arts. Mrs. Hewitt's top students for this school year are Braden Offenbacher, Jordan Jones, Asia Creed, Evan Heidenreich, Stacy Campbell, Dylan Tebow, Grace Brewster, Xander Jones, Cameron Wiley, and Mrs. Hewitt's top student for this school year is Quentin Yakub. Great job. Okay, moving on to Mrs. Klosterman's 8th grade Advanced English Language Arts top students. Mrs. Klosterman's top students are Reagan Tukes, Natalie Fote, Madeline Rohrball, Kai Dries, Joshua Cruzy, Ashley Murphy, Ashley Chloe Stewart, Kevin Wiles, and Mrs. Klosterman's top student for this school year is Isabella Reyes. Great job, guys. Moving on to the Social Studies Department. We're going to start with Mr. Johnson, 7th grade Social Studies. Mr. Johnson's top students for this school year are Rachel Cavender, Colton Byron, Brayden Soliday, Zoe Leisure, Lauren Barr, Cadence Dorston, Reagan Howard, Kelsey Erick, Jordan Atkins, and Mr. Johnson's top student for this school year is Trista Boki. Great job. Okay, next up we have Mr. Scott, also for 7th grade Social Studies. Mr. Scott's top students for this school year are Mahala Bragg, Lily Haney, Matthew Weiser, Savannah Cox, Tori Foster, Marissa Bragg, Zachary Haney, Pearl Golden, Kirsten Shaneyfeld, and Mr. Scott's top student for this school year, Savannah Swanson. Next we have Mr. Riley with 8th grade Social Studies. Mr. Riley's top students for this year in 8th grade Social Studies are Kinsey Anderson, Cale Barr, Kelsey Franklin, Gage Hammer, Lauren Hicks, Ashley McPherson, Aiden Meyer, Cassie Shrub, Quentin Yakub, and Mr. Riley's top student for this school year is Carolina Polikowski. Next we have Mr. Smith, also for 8th grade social studies. Mr. Smith's top students for this school year are Jacob Ward, Grace Pleasant, Reagan Toops, Isabella Reyes, Brooklyn Jolly, Natalie Fote, Kai Dries, Jason Schaefer, Camilla Nicholas, and Mr. Smith's top student for this school year, Hannah Pleasant. Okay, switching gears and moving to the math department. We'll start with Mrs. Huebner with 7th grade math and free algebra. Mrs. Huebner's top students for this school year are Savannah Cox, Nathan Beaker, Tori Foster, Brady Houle, William Ratliff, Kevin Sly, Olivia Anthony, Cadence Fergus, Mrs. Huebner's top student in 7th grade math, Colton Byron. And Mrs. Huebner's top student in pre-algebra for this school year, Rachel Cabin. Mrs. Peltier will be our next teacher. Mrs. Peltier teaches both 7th grade math and Algebra 1 in 7th grade. We'll bring all her students up together. Mrs. Peltier's top students for this school year are Braden Soliday, Matthew Weiser, Zoe Leisure, Zachary Haney, Jordan Slife, Kelsey Erick, Kirk Robbins, Haley Tyson, and Mrs. Peltier's top student in 7th grade math, Ella Soto Garcia. And Mrs. Peltier's top student in 7th grade algebra, Savannah Swanson. Gabrielle Kinney, Brianna Coy, Kelsey Shepard, Gabriella Cromas, David Stump, Brianna Sims, and Mrs. Miller's top student in 8th grade math for this school year, Zachary Sale. Mrs. Snap also teaches 8th grade math for us. She actually teaches 3 courses for us, 8th grade math, Algebra 1, and Geometry. She could not be here tonight, so Mrs. Miller is going to hand out her awards. We'll start with her 8th grade math students. Mrs. Snap's top 8th grade math students are, her number 1 top student is, her top students are Tiana Devadrel, and her top student is Xander Basil. Snaps, 8th grade algebra. Top students are Caleb Lyons, Maxwell King, and Mrs. Snap's top 8th grade algebra student for this school year, Evan Heitreich. Awesome job, gentlemen. I should have mentioned, actually back when we talked about Mrs. Peltier's algebra class, the level of advanced classes that we offer sometimes, to be thinking about taking an algebra class in 7th grade, those young men in 8th grade algebra, and our next group, 8th grade geometry, to think about being an 8th grader and taking a high school geometry course for high school credit. Very, very challenging. And so Mrs. Snap's top students in geometry for this school year are Reagan Sloan, Isabella Reyes, Kinsey Anderson, Reagan Toops, and Mrs. Snap's top student in 8th grade geometry for this school year, Madeline Rohrball. Now to our science department. Mrs. Hahn's top 7th grade science students for this school year are Savannah Cox, Alyssa Fleck, Zachary Haney, Matthew Weiser, Haley Tyson, Kirsten Schoenfeld, Ida Bucher, Lily Haney, Kirk Robbins, And Mrs. Hans, top 7th grade science student for this school year, Savannah Swanson. Next up, we have Mrs. Sperling's 7th grade science class. Mrs. Sperling cannot be here tonight, so Mrs. Hahn is going to pass out her awards. Mrs. Sperling's top students for this school year are Libby Bradney, Brady Houle, Isabella Murray, Samuel Schmeezing, Kelsey Eric, Rachel Cavender, Peyton Fergus, Jordan Atkins, Braden Solomon, and Mrs. Sperling's top student for this school year, Zoe Lazier. Students, I know this is kind of dragging. I know it can be kind of long, but bear with us, please. Try to stay as quiet and focused as possible as we're announcing students' names so their parents and their families can hear their names, okay? Thank you. 8th grade science. Moving on, we have Mr. Askins first. Mr. Askins, top students for 8th grade science are Ray Toops, Madeline Rohrbaugh, Kevin Wiles, Anna Pleasant, Grace Pleasant, Ashley Murphy, Elise Cox, Allison Miller, Natalie Fope, and Mr. Askins, top student in 8th grade science for this school year, Isabella Reyes. Moving on to Mr. Durrell. Mr. Durrell teaches 8th grade science for a couple periods here. He teaches at the high school, comes over and teaches a couple periods of 8th grade science for us here at Piqua Junior High School. Couldn't be here tonight, so Mr. Askins is going to help pass out his awards. Mr. Durrell's top students for the school year are Jordan Jones, Xander Jones, Jacob Ward, Stacy Campbell, Brooklyn Jolly, And Mr. Garal's top student for this school year is Kai Dries. Our final teacher level awards for tonight will be for Mrs. Fox's 8th grade science class. Mrs. Fox's top students for this school year are Reagan Sloan, Lauren Hicks, Reagan Weaver, Andrew Anderson, Aiden Meyer, Quentin Yakub, Maxwell King, Cassie Shrub, Zane Pratt, and Mrs. Fox's top student for this school year, Kenzie Anderson. We are now moving into the portion of our awards ceremony where we recognize students for some special awards. The first one we're going to recognize, I'm going to ask Mr. Albers, our assistant principal, to come up. Mr. Albers, one of his duties is to help oversee attendance for us. And we give each year an award to any student who makes it through 2 years at Piqua Junior High School with perfect attendance. I will tell you that perfect attendance at Piqua Junior High School means perfect attendance. We're talking about not one early dismissal for a doctor's appointment, not one late arrival for an orthodontist appointment. We're talking here 100% of the time for 2 years straight. That's a pretty amazing feat, quite frankly. And I think this year we have more than we've ever had in 1 year, or at least as many as we've ever had in 1 year, and that's awesome. It's not a surprise that you've seen some of these people up here, most of these people up here for other awards. Our perfect attendance students for the last 2 school years are Gage Hammer, Nicholas Heath, Gabrielle Lillycraft, and Christopher Prophet. Each year, the Piqua Noon Optimists ask us to pick 2 students who represent the values that the Noon Optimist organization try to portray. Being positive, being optimistic. We have a lot of those students. We've really focused the last couple of years on respect, responsibility, and kindness. And I will tell you that these 2 students, we're asked each year to pick 1 young man and 1 young lady to present this award to, and these 2 folks represent those things: respect, responsibility, and kindness, and optimism, and positivity. And so we're thrilled to have these 2 folks come up. Our 2 winners of the Optimist Award this year are Lauren Hicks and Kevin Wiles. is for any 8th grader who has accumulated a 4.0, a perfect grade point average, for 2 years, for both years at Piqua Junior High School. That's a pretty amazing feat. I will tell you that this list of students is a diverse list of students who are involved in a multitude of activities, advanced level courses, and just all-around positive leaders in our building. And I believe we have, I know we have a plaque in the back that has some of our past winners. If you get a chance to look at that, the current plaque is at the engravers with your names going on it as we speak and will be displayed very soon, hopefully. I believe this is maybe the largest list of 4.0 students for 2 years. I know for sure since I've been here. This is my 14th year at Piqua Junior High School. We have 11 8th grade students who have accumulated a 4.0 grade point average over the 2 years, which is pretty awesome. A real symbol of your hard work and dedication to doing the best you can do. So I'm going to read the whole list. Please hold your applause to the end. We have Kinsey Anderson, Natalie Fote, Isabella Reyes, Madeline Rohrball, Kai Dries, Camilla Nicholas, Grace Pleasant, Reagan Sloan, Chloe Stewart, Reagan Toops, and Jacob Ward. Awesome job. Our next award is the Archie Griffin Sportsmanship Award. The Ohio High School Athletic Association gives each junior high and I believe high school that's a member of the Ohio High School Athletic Association in Ohio 2 opportunities to award these awards to students in their buildings, one young man, one young woman. These awards are supposed to reflect, these people who win these awards are supposed to reflect the characteristics that Archie Griffin carried. If you don't know who Archie Griffin is, Archie Griffin was the only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner, played football for Ohio State, went on, had a career in the NFL, then came back to Ohio State to work for the university. An Ohio native, always displayed exemplary sportsmanship and leadership. And these 2 folks that we're going to honor tonight fit that mold very well. I will tell you that every year, it is an immense challenge for us as a staff to work through trying to decipher who we're going to award these honors to. This year was maybe the hardest ever. We have a lot of deserving folks. We are tasked with choosing one each, one young man and one young woman. To give you an idea of the things that these young people are involved in, our young lady who is going to receive this award tonight is a 3.87 grade point average over the 2 years here at Piqua Junior High School, involved in National Junior Honor Society, volleyball, basketball, other things. What I've observed about her in her time at Piqua Junior High School is her leadership, her positivity, and her hard work. Our young man, who is going to be receiving the Archie Griffin Award, has a 3.91 cumulative GPA. Also a member of National Junior Honor Society, football player, basketball player, a member of the track team, and again, a leader, not always in words. It's not about words all the time. It's about doing the right thing and working hard. This young man's a hard worker. His teachers have great things to say about him. Same for our young lady who's going to win this award. So at this time, I would like to award the Archie Griffin Sportsmanship Award to Elise Cox and Caleb Lyons. Our final award for the evening is the Steve Hill Memorial Award. This award is named after Steve Hill. Steve was a student who graduated from Piqua City Schools, graduated from Piqua Central High School in 1980. Steve attended Bennett Junior High. For those of you like me that have been around long enough to remember that there were 2 junior highs at the time, Steve was a student at Piqua Junior High School. Steve was an exemplary student based on the stories and the memories that I've been able to listen to from past teachers, his parents who are in attendance tonight, the amazing things that Steve embodied in terms of being a great student and having awesome character, and being a leader in the classroom, being a leader on the athletic field. Steve went on to become a teacher, was a substitute teacher in Piqua City Schools for a short time, went on to teach elementary school in Indiana. Unfortunately, Steve's life was cut short by cancer. He was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, neuroblastoma, and was taken from us way too early. When I started here at Piqua Junior High School, there were still a couple teachers left who had Steve as a student when he was with Piqua City Schools, when he was in Piqua City Schools, and anytime his name was brought up, it brought up emotions of just and memories of a student who just embodied what we hope for in a Piqua City School student. So this award is in honor of Steve Hill, so we look for all those characteristics in the award winner. And again, it was so hard to try to narrow that down to one person, but that's our job, and we try to do that. This person that's going to be receiving this award tonight is a member of National Junior Honor Society, Student Leadership, one of our 4.0 winners. Also played volleyball, basketball. I know played softball a lot, at least even outside of the school. And just is an all-around awesome student and awesome person here at Piqua Junior High School. Our Steve Hill Award winner for this school year is Reagan Toops. Displayed on a plaque that will be also in our trophy case in the back. This goes back many years. I encourage you to check it out. Look at some of the names of the past students from Piqua Junior High School and Piqua High School. You'll recognize many of these students for the amazing things they've gone on to do in high school and beyond. So we're extremely proud of all those students. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Albers to come and close our ceremony.
To conclude this evening's celebration, I want to congratulate each and every one of you that received an award this evening. I mean, what an honor. It's an amazing thing. The top 10 in your class. You've earned this award for your continuous and consistent academic efforts, and for that I commend you and thank you. The ethics and expectations that you modeled throughout your scholastic career have an immeasurable positive influence as you transition toward adulthood and beyond. I also want to thank all of you in attendance, parents, grandparents, teachers, support staff, and others, for your undoubted hard work and efforts that have been and will continue to be vital in the lives of students at Piqua City Schools. Please join me in a final round of applause for this evening's award recipients and stakeholders. Thank you.
Mr. Smith and Mr. Riley to come forward. We started a tradition last year. Our 8th graders are leaving, the ones that are going are leaving next week to go on our Washington, D.C. trip. And we like to announce our replayers. We had a process. We get the opportunity to go to Arlington National Cemetery and lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. If you have not ever seen the changing of the guard at the tomb of the unknown soldier, or the replaying ceremony, I encourage you to go home and YouTube it. It's one of the most powerful things I've ever experienced. And it's a huge, huge honor to be able to just be there. But to be able to be a part of a replaying ceremony and be a part of that is something that is extremely special. We're not going to ask these folks to come up, but I'm going to ask Mr. Smith and Mr. Riley to announce our students. The process that we went through, that we've gone through the last couple of years, we asked students to work in their language arts classes with their language arts teachers to write an essay about why that would be a special honor for them. And the English language arts teachers in 8th grade take a look at those, look over those, and pass on the top entries to the social studies department, Mr. Riley and Mr. Smith. And then they actually, the way they do it, it's really kind of neat. They get them without the names on them. They just read the essays and choose the 4 top essays that convey that meaning that this would be a huge honor for these 4 students. Again, really hard to narrow it down to 4. We get a lot of awesome entries. I'm going to let you both step forward and announce your 2 students each. And then at the conclusion of that, and again, those students, you don't have to come up, but we want to at least recognize your name. And then at the conclusion of that, we wish you to have a great evening.
Thanks, Mr. Clark. The 2 students representing the Shawnee team will be Isabella Reyes and Reagan Tubes. Thank you. Congratulations.
2 students that will be representing the Mohican team are Ashley McPherson and Aiden Meyer. Congratulations.